Hello and welcome to the latest What Happens Next puzzle. The idea is very simple. I'm going to take you through a game and then at a certain point stop and you have to work out what happens next, and I'll give you a couple of options to help you guide your thoughts. So this is the game between Arkady Neidic, who represents Germany, and Niels Grandelius, who's Swedish. Neidic played e4. By the way, Neidic came joint first in the Vikonsay B tournament, so he's currently on very good form. Okay, so it's a Sicilian. Let me just go through these first moves in the game fairly quickly. We haven't got too much time to linger, and it's a Najdorf variation. And Neidic plays quite a solid move, g3. Now I think the best move is pawn to e5 here, but that's its personal preference. There are many decent responses for black. If you'd like to investigate this move a little more, then do check out my DVD that has been released by Chessbase on the Najdorf. Okay, that's for another day. In this game, black played pawn to e6, and this leads to the so-called Scheveningen variation of the Sicilian. Okay, so bishop g2, all is normal, and here, I mean, this kind of thing has been seen many times before, of course. In fact, there's a very old game that Tal played with white here, and now pawn to e5. This is originally played by Tal. So clearly, in this position, this is the game continuation. Black cannot play queen takes e5 because of bishop takes c6 check. So the knight has to retreat. And this pawn looks a little vulnerable, but white hopes to hold that and use the e4 square to get very nice play. Here's the game continuation. Knight comes to e4, and the Tal game I was referring to actually went bishop b7 and queen h5, and you can see this is already extremely dangerous for black. There are threats to already play knight f6 check, and this opposition of bishop and queen is perhaps uncomfortable. In that game, g6 was played, and well, Tal went in with knight f6 anyway, and well, eventually won a very, very nice game. Okay, but in this game, our game between Neidic and Grandelius, black took on e5. I think that's probably the best move. So it's a pawn sacrifice. Queen d4. Obviously putting pressure on the knight. The knight is pinned to the queen. So f6 is just about forced. And now white took on e5. I think black should probably, well, I don't know. It's an option to play this ending. I think that's probably the most practical way for black to play. Now, white has excellent compensation because he controls this square, and black's pawns are not beautiful, but he does have the two bishops here. But maybe, again, this is a matter of taste. Instead, black chose to keep the queens on, but now he has to endure a very dangerous attack. So, well, at the moment white is a pawn down, and now black grabbed a second pawn. Now this is really risky, because in grabbing that pawn, black wastes time, and that gives white time to develop his initiative. And as we've seen on many occasions in these top tournaments, for example in Vikonsay, that it's very hard to defend against a player who has a powerful initiative. So this is where I'm going to stop the game. You can see that all white's pieces are going on the attack. Black hasn't really developed properly. So this is where I'm going to give you a couple of options for what should black play here. Okay, should black play rook a7? Or should black play the pawn to h6? It's your choice. h6 or rook to A7. Now when the clip ends, you'll see a couple of buttons appear on the screen. If you click on the move that you'd like to play, and that'll take you through to the next video while I'll explain and analyze that move. So the very best of luck, and of course you can always pause this 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 video. I'm getting a bit confused, and study the position in a little more depth as you like. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Good luck.